The soul connection that awakened your power. So we're going to have a look at who this soul was to you before and what they have awakened within you. So Spirit, may we have a look, please, for the viewer. Who this soul was to the viewer before. So this could be a glimpse into a past life connection, what role they played, and maybe what the energetic bond between you was then. Let's have a look. We have got, wow, the King of Wands. And Spirit, may we have a look at what they have awakened within the viewer. So let's have a look at a part of your goddess energy or your spiritual gift or your soul purpose that they have stirred back to life. We have got the Five of Wands. The King of Wands and the Five of Wands together, they tell such a rich and layered story. So this connection, it wasn't quiet. It was fiery and bold, perhaps even chaotic. But most of all, it was activating. And this soul didn't come to comfort you, they came to ignite you. We can see that not every soul connection is soft. So some came into your life like fire, unexpected and intense and unforgettable. And this is a reading for the soul bond that didn't just stir your heart, it really awakened your power. In pile 1, we see the glimpse of who this soul was to you before. And in pile 2, we begin to uncover what part of your inner fire that they reactivated. And this connection, it wasn't random. It was divinely disruptive, designed to stir something ancient inside of you. So this reading might be for you if you can't quite shake the feeling that you were meant to meet this person, maybe not forever necessarily, but for something soul deep. And you might still be tangled in memories or energetics or dreams, and you may still experience conflict, maybe a push-pull dynamic, or even emotional chaos. But beneath that story, there was an activation. So if their presence woke something up in you, your voice, your power, your rage, your truth, then this reading, it might be for you. So the King of Wands. This person was a spiritual fire starter in a past life and likely held a position of bold leadership and charisma or personal magnetism. In your shared history, they might have been someone who really led with passion, but not always with stability. So they held power and presence, but they may not have known how to wield it gently. And in your current life, they likely arrived with that same soul imprint. So you likely felt very drawn to them instantly, pulled by a force that didn't necessarily make logical sense. And that's because your soul recognized the fire that they once held. So in that lifetime, and perhaps this one, they were a catalyst. They were a mirror for your inner fire. And this could have been a karmic partner or an initiator of a soul level transformation. So they may have felt larger than life or confident or all-consuming. And that wasn't your imagination, it was actually a recognition. And what they did was awaken your inner fight, the part of you that had stayed very quiet or polite or small until they arrived. And the Five of Wands is a card that speaks of creative chaos. It's the moment that you stop dimming, and it's the struggle that brings you back to your truth. So this connection, it may have brought a lot of emotional tension and competition. There could have been ego clashes, or there could have been a feeling of never quite being enough. But spiritually, it forced you to claim your power. So they may have stirred your anger or your boundaries or your desires. and they may have triggered your unhealed wounds, but in doing so, they've actually unearthed your deepest strength. So this person, they didn't come to soothe you. They really came to shatter the parts of you that were still asleep. So why don't we take a peek at what your soul is still learning from them now? Let's make some space. Spirit, this person, to the viewer. What is the viewer's soul still learning from this person, please? We have got the Six of Wands. This is actually very beautiful. What it is saying is that after the chaos and after the fire and the confrontation of self, it really all leads to victory and self-recognition and energetic reclamation. So your soul is learning to stand in your power, publicly, proudly, and without apology. So this connection, for all of its fire and friction, was never actually meant to break you. It was meant to ignite you. And the Six of Wands, it shows you what you're learning is how to claim your space, let yourself be seen, and acknowledge your transformation without needing anyone else's validation. So in past lives, you may have spent them dimmed or hidden or silenced, especially perhaps as someone who's carrying sacred knowledge or divine gifts. And this soul connection, it came in like a mirror to the part of you that had forgotten your worth. And now your soul is learning that you don't need their approval to rise. You just need to remember who you are. The Six of Wands is your spiritual comeback. It's your recognition, and it's a path to your visibility, your power, and your voice. So this person, they didn't just show up to teach you a lesson. They showed up to wake you up to the power that you carried in another lifetime and the version of you that's returning now. And if you're feeling this activation deeply, there are two ways that we could go deeper. First of all, we could look at a soul contract reading, where we look at your original soul agreement with this person and see what's still unresolved and how that's maybe shaping your connection now. Or we could do a goddess lineage reading, where we explore who you were in a sacred lifetime, the gifts that you carried, and how your divine feminine energy is reawakening in this lifetime. So this isn't about who you're becoming, it's about remembering who you've always been. To find both of those readings, you go to the link in my bio and scroll here. If you go this way, you will see here is the Goddess Lineage and Past Life Tarot reading, and here is your soul contract readings. Same day readings are still not quite available as I'm just getting back from traveling. These beautiful cards that I'm using today, I know I'm going to be asked about them, and you can also find those linked in my bio. You can find them both here under Tarot Stack. For those of you that have ever been curious about learning tarot, I do have a beginner's and an intermediate tarot online class that can be done at your own pace. And upon completion, you have the opportunity to receive certification.